Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, wherever you are, I want to thank God for another brand new Tuesday, the hour of my assignment. And I want to thank God for giving us another day and adding another day to uh, our life. And, every time we come to a day in the morning or Friday, we say, thank you, Lord, because some did not really wake up to see another day. And I want to say, first, you're welcome. And, this is the result of every week. Uh, try to plan to get on straight on the other line, but then we have to get on the page and we go into a different level of making this thing a reality of what God wants us to do on the assignment. So I want us to, to know that a lot going on in Liberia and looking at the connecting the church to the community summit that is planning to be here in Trenton, New Jersey at the Redeemed Christian Church of God Event Center. And, as we plan for this time and looking at focusing on our country, it was very brilliant yesterday, which I'm going to talk about a little bit. But again, the community engagement is at a different level of presenting uh, what really needs to be presented as a human rights consultant and actors. One who I believe in serving. I believe that no matter what, to serve is one of my creative wish, and I think I'm going to that level and understanding that no matter what, probably the enemies have said, or in your life, in my life, I think the whole thing about us driving, whatever boat we're driving, or whatever thing we are doing, probably if we cannot, probably have the passion or do not have the passion for the thing that we think God have called us to do, then of course we might be missing the mark. I want to call on all human rights organizations, probably who might have probably interest in promoting human rights in the world. It's not just light thing to do. It's not just a moth thing to do. It's not just probably a right thing to do or diplomatic thing to do alone. You got to be diplomatic because you're meeting that protocol. You're meeting people that you have to understand their language, about the language, and when you do protocols, you understand what we talk about. Because sometimes you might not be able to enter a place only because you lack protocol or ethic. Okay, so just go to ethic, even whatever ethic, and protocol will actually demand that you apply it in some places, if not all. But again, it is a blessed day to be here this morning or this afternoon, wherever we are in the world. And you know, yesterday was another great day in our country, Liberia, when the president of Liberia, uh, incoming president, inaugurated last week, and with all the different thoughts about, um, you know, the way he felt and why he was talking, and he could not talk for a long time. But again, let us be very constructive in our criticism, and you know, not in the way that we would be thinking that this person should be the mass, or we don't want to see them well because they won election. Now, I always say the community engagement is about rights and responsibilities. The responsibility of every citizen, whether outgoing leader, whether incoming leader, is to respect leadership. And that's why you are not satisfied with the next person, or whether you satisfied or not. That person, once they are elected as the president of a country, they should be given the right to grow, or to do their part. And I think probably we need to come to the place where, you know, the community engagement as the visionary, I believe that to engage people, you must engage them constructively. In order for us to change society, because we talk about peace, justice, and equality. In order for us to change society, we must have right. We must know our right, yes, but we must know our responsibility, the way we respond to situation in our country, in our marriage, in everything, and just dealing with something, people talk about when we come into that on the assignment. You see, you are being called. If you are called to the ministry, forget about whether this person is, they have everything, they are influential. It could be your husband or wife or your friend, and probably they downplay you all the time. Let me tell you something here. Two things we do for ourselves when it comes to the assignment: look up to God. He's the master, and you can plan all your plan. When it's not God's plan, it's not going to happen. I was looking at my ancestral DNA yesterday. I tried to, I've been looking at that for some time. And well, 85% from South Africa, you know, and 2.5 Native American, and then Native, Nigeria, 2.5 Nigeria. So that is my ancestors. So that DNA seems to be the real DNA. It's something that I can see. I don't know how these guys really predict those stuff, but you can see that. But again, we are driving at the place where the community engagement. It's not just we have partner, we have Brother Sherman. Matter of fact, we're going to be talking more on Saturday. I don't know what they went for that in just to give a word, but I think when people are doing something, when people are making effort to change society, no matter what the difference may be, no matter how we feel about them, we must give our support. If we don't have the money, we don't have the resources, we can give them the support. And you see, if you look up the Sherman up there, his wife, and the ship there, the Musa Foundation are doing pretty well in Liberia, and pretty well. So he got it in free time. So he's one of our potential partners here at the community engagement. We're very proud of that because why? Because we are a group that believe in promoting each other, no matter what condition, no matter what the difference may be. I think we need to get to that place where we respect each other for what we do. We know that in partnership, we give and take, and we do it together sometime. But I think the community engagement, with all respect, will like to say, well, okay, look, my man, we thank God for, you being part of what all of us been talking about, and you are moving forward with what you're doing. You and your wife, especially. Well, I want to thank the wife, because it is the wife that sometimes drive. If the man is maybe financially important, or probably he might not have everything, but he have the whole thing to drive it, and that's what compatibility on the assignment means. So if you look at the thing on yesterday, the message from our president was very. It's a message for the year. You see, when a leader come out, you see, we must give people the flower while they are alive. We are not going no far in the presidency. Yes, we agree, but that is a platform. That is the work plan of action, or probably the lay down. He laid down yesterday everything that the government is going to be doing, and I think those things that we highlighted will be the medical, because we need it. We're going to be talking more about it on Saturday on the community engagement. Actually, we have this thing coming up on Friday, so we have Saturday night. It's going to be Saturday at 7:30 p.m. We're going to be talking more about it as, and we're going to be talking more about it with a team. And when you look at what is obtaining and focus on Liberia, we need really help in the world. We need help all over the world, because Liberia is a country of peace, and no matter what the enemy have done or said, I think we need to be driving ourselves. I was talking about the curses, and looking back, way back there, somebody would say, well, Jesus Christ broke those barriers. Well, Jesus Christ did not break the barriers to the point where he says, when you go to sin, that means the curse is not on you. That is not true. So, but the point that I'm stressing here today is the questions about a leader should be two things. What the leader has to give or to offer, one of the main important things, and what has the leader offer. Okay, after maybe the terms of 6 months, 1 year, not 100 days or whatever, what the leader has to offer would be said on the day of the speech. It's not on the inauguration time, but on the day that he giving the first, speech. That is where we highlight. And so very wonderful yesterday. And especially what we talked from there, like Chairman and myself were talking last night, what we talked from there that's very important, that is going to help our children, our young people, is the drugs. If a leader would say, well, okay, he's getting into the international standard to respect our country, so that when people come to our country or want to come to our country, they are not just going to be looking at the fact that, oh, the guys are, they're not ready, or maybe they're taking this drugs issue to be just light, or you know what I'm talking about. Well, because just to say that, well, everyone that will actually want to work for our government, or probably everyone should take this drug test before you can be employed. That's an international standard. And I want to congratulate that government and our president and the government for that. That is an international standard. So that one, was one of we highlighted. It's very important, because not only that people want to work somewhere because, well, they just want to work, but they must be able to be prepared physically, and also what educationally, or whatever thing that is needed, requirement that is being requested. That is the first requirement of your drugs test. That also open room and open avenue and opportunity for those who are in the medical area to begin to write projects, so that they can have a mini lab or place where they can do the drug tests. Because we're talking about Liberia, we're talking about every private sector will start to do it. If the government require them, which is very important, even though some of them used to do it, but it was not as a mandate or something that was required, especially when they start from the government. So I want to say that was one of the things that was very much important. And every other thing comes out, it was just like that. So we first want to say thank you to the president and leadership coming up. And we want to say, well, okay, all of us are in this together, no matter whether we have or not, no matter whether we are pushing or talking about it, we are responsible as citizens of our country. And for those of us who look at the internet and see some of those things that we see, it can look like fun. When we're talking about constructive criticism, we're talking about a criticism that is not just going to be one-sided, but it's going to open the eyes of somebody or the person who we're talking about, and then help you to learn from them. It will also help the country. So that is constructive. Anything that is not constructive, it means you just trying to make your point to satisfy your political ambitions, which is not probably everybody got their own opinion. You have your right. You're entitled to your right. You're entitled to freedom of speech. But let's agree that these things that were outlined yesterday started to go into force. What will you say? What would be your point to convince people that the government is not doing anything? You see, no matter what, you don't have in all time we don't have a perfect government, but we can walk along with the government, see what the government is serious about. It's not. It's just not about, well, okay, we because this thing, so we're gonna go against this other person because, well, they when we were there, this thing. I saw the other guy saying no kind of stuff. Well, we need to come back together and say, okay, we love our country, build our country. We'll be able to move ahead. When we think Liberia, we love Liberia, and then we build Liberia. But we can build Liberia by building our mindset, by increasing our capacity to think right. You know, when we don't pray to increase the capacity to think right, positively about something, then of course we'll be driving ourselves into the place of always criticizing, but getting nothing about the criticism. Is not going to be really in the mind of a lot of Liberians will start to curse each other because, well, if you're criticizing, you might have a point. So the community engagement, actually, in person, I want to say to all of us that, we are all in this together, and we're going to be talking here. Our panelists will be ready for our consistent work, and I think this is going to pick up because it is what we see the assignment. That is great. On Saturday, it's going to be panel from, I think we're going to be 4, 5, or 6, whatever number up to 10, where we're going to host, and then we're going to be talking about Liberia. We're going to be talking about the coming, connecting the church to the community summit. You can be in London, you can be any part of the world, and you can take part in that summit, because we're going to be talking about some of the topic that we're going to be dealing with is making the church disability friendly. That is very key. I think we're going to be talking about, and one of our speakers, I'm going to be calling him just after this meeting. We're trying to talk to 1 or 2 persons that will be in-person speakers, and probably might have visual speakers out there to just talk about certain things that they might have some tips about. But really, making the church disability friendly, probably we're going to come up to that. But let me conclude as I conclude on this thing about Liberia. Let us come to this place of realizing that for taking drug tests is in the favor. It's a fight. It's already a fight against drugs. So, which is a very big step to show the people, and then not only that, but they are going to be the first to go. He and his vice president is going to go to do the test first, and then all the other people follow. So that is a good step. I want to say thank you, Mr. President, and thank you to all of us, those of us who are watching, those of us who will be watching. This is all about driving Liberia to the place where we can understand that, look, this is not about me. It's about thinking about Liberia, loving Liberia, and building Liberia. And how can we build Liberia? We got to start building our mind, our thinking, our thoughts. And I would send it back some word to some of the guys in Bassa community, the place called Bassa community. And, it can look so funny when people who supposed to be changing their thoughts and their emotions. It can look so funny because, look, it can let me laugh sometime when I'm talking about something that will bring good thing to the future generation, and somebody is turning their back on something and not knowing that our forefather went through some terrible things. Probably they did not understand what they were doing, fighting each other, and something happened to another person. They're happy about it because they want to take their property. Now, we need to drive from this thing. Our assignment is not to criticize to the point where we don't have any any kind of contribution out of prayer or our contribution by sending our word to them. So the community engagement in the center of what we are saying and what we're doing is, look, we need to engage each other constructively. Let's talk to each other. Let's see where the problem lies. Let's go back to the root cause of the problem. Because we have not been going to the root causes of problem, we stay having some issues, and we can resolve the issues. Like I talk about on a prayer about the ancestor curse that is actually pursuing people because they did not actually receive Christ, or probably they received Christ and that thing was broken. They went back again and they lost their relationship and color with God, and they still find themselves around in that cycle of poverty, the cycle of this I don't know, ignorance, and they just go in the way they're going. Why? Because they fail to take action. So I want to encourage us in first in the Lord, and then, well, we got to be encouraged to take some steps. No matter what the enemies have done or say or want to do in our life, let us begin to stand firm, looking at where Liberia is today. We know where we came from. We know that, well, they destroyed, they killed the guys on the pole, detecting guys, brilliant people, and they did it because, well, I said it. And if you go back to look at the mind and the thinking, you see through the eyes of faith. Those of us were a little bit yet, but when you trace your own self and think about how people feel when they're not educated and the other people are educated, sometimes people feel intimidated. But you have right. You can stay, do something. You don't have to. And you don't have to get jealous about the person because, well, okay, they are educated. No. So if you look back there and see where the problem comes from, so let us not be solving problem with a different solution, whereas we should be solving the problem with the solution problem with the kind of instrument we need to directly go to the root cause of the problem. So again, the hour of assignment, my assignment is to talk about issues. My assignment is to advocate for the rights of people. My assignment is to rise up and do something to make life and pleasing for myself, my family, my friends, and and buttress people. Therefore, work together, coordinate some things together. No matter what, coordinate together. No matter what the difference, you might hit me, you might not like. Well, probably maybe I'm an ugly guy in my ways. I'm not good. Or maybe I'm a pastor that don't like to talk to people rightly, or maybe as an advocate. Everybody got the way that they accept people in their life. I'm talking about I'm not talking about intimate relationship. I'm talking about individual when it comes to where we are, even in an intimate relationship. So the fact that you don't like this guy or you don't like the other guy, somebody out there like them or love them. So the fact that you don't like boycott, or probably you don't like the ongoing president. A lot of people like the ongoing president for what he did. But the constructive thing about what we as people should do is to look at the center of the reality of that leadership, especially the leadership of Joseph Boakai, who is there now, to see what he has said. Because the first thing we look at in any presidency is on this speech yesterday, not the inauguration alone. Inauguration is a speech that is something that is not just it's organized based on the way it present and what you want to do. But the main important thing, when they are sat and for the first week or two, knowing why those lapses and some of the things that they gather, then they come out to give their speech to tell the people of that country what their platform, what they're going to be doing. So that was a very brilliant one yesterday. And I want to continue to say thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for the co-workers and all of us. I think we need to begin to think and pray and build Liberia, and looking at what is obtaining. I think we have a good standing and we can make a big difference in our country. So I want to thank you. And we're going to be talking more about the community engagement. We're going to be talking more about the issues of us coming up with some key things that we're going to be doing. We are bringing all the schedule. It's going to come up. It's going to be up on Facebook. It's going to be up very soon. So just follow us and know that well, we love you, and Jesus love you best. I can ready say to have all the words here today to say, well, okay, um, let do the best we can, or let not do this, let not do that. But I can tell you that we are on tab, we are on course with some of the things that we believe in God for, and here at the Redeemed Christian Church also, we are here to serve, and in as much as we are here to serve, we want to say to all of us, get involved. For those of us who don't believe in a man of God who decide to say, okay, nobody preach in the church, except you got to be from this church or you got to be from this denomination. Now, in my late conclusion, I just want to bring this up on the hour of my assignment. Now, the reason why many pastors and leaders in the world fail, if not all of us, go back and do your statistics. Out of breakaway, we bring the wrong people around, people who don't have the perception, who are not negative, positive thinkers, who the dependence on other people's vision in order to build theirs. Probably don't have any knowledge to understand what God have called them for. So they either break away, shift away, discourage the members of the other person. On the hour of assignment, we're going to be talking to Dr. I'm not going to call the name now until we confirm it, but we're going to be talking to one leader, the first person that will be on our show on Thursday. We're going to be talking to them at 8 p.m., I think 7:10 p.m. Eastern time, and we're going to be talking about their assignment, their achievement, and what they're doing, what they're planning, and for 2024, and that will be the hour of assignment on Thursday. But again, once I have a vision and I'm running the church, if I tell you, look, I'm not going to allow anybody to preach on my pulpit, on the pulpit, except I know who they are. That's the vision. So if anybody like the Redeemed Christian Church of God, the bishop, he runs the vision. So if he comes up to say, well, no other pastor or minister from anywhere outside the Redeemed Christian Church should preach there, he's right. He guides his vision. Why you think so? If you go back and see, for those of us who we are ministry, we are ministers, we are ordained ministers. We're not just ordained ministers, we are sound ministers and experienced. Despite, it's not about having a fabulous thing that you do. It's about listening to God and understanding your assignment. There are people that don't understand the assignment, no matter how big or small they are, or influential they are. They still not understand when it comes to the assignment. So you see, you protect your vision, right? So the enemy comes out tomorrow and say, well, I don't think any minister should preach on this pulpit from outside. That minister is protecting their vision. And I support those kind of things 100%. When we talk about coordinating together to work to make a change in our society, we are not talking about, well, coming to preach on some other pulpit on Sunday morning. Except the person feel contempt, pleasing about you. Except the got some good thing, knowing about you, knowing that you are a person or minister of the gospel that have the charisma and that understand their doctrine and how they minister in their churches. So because you know from experience that not all of us, I may be a pastor, I may be a guy who run all over the place to all the women in the church. I may be a pastor preaching just to make some flow show, to just preach because I feel that I got money. I show myself all showing all my big shoes and think that that's the only thing to life or to be a minister of the gospel. I might be somebody who just hiding under the shield and call myself pastor because I ride the best car and I have the best shoes, so people respect me. But yet behind me, I have a stigma. So the point I'm stressing here today, and all of us minister on the assignment, we must understand that, look, you have the vision. God gave you the vision, and you the vision runner. I'm not going to allow somebody to come into the community engagement. Why is a public institution? I'm not going to allow somebody to come in to steal the vision or to kill it. I'm not going to allow somebody to kill the vision, the life empowerment network. I'm not even going to allow anybody to come. The Children Assistance Rescue Mission. I'm not even going to allow anybody to destroy the faith evangelistic full gospel ministries. No. Why? Because I watch over, I know I'm the visionary. I speak to the people. I know the wolves that comes around to take away. There are wolves. There are wolves in sheep clothing that comes and gallop people, comes around and just scatter the flock. We know what's going on in the world. So when people say, when any minister or bishop comes out in the word to say, look, I'm not going to allow, everybody got that thing, everybody got that. Well, you got to be compatible with some bishop or your friend before you allow them to come preach on your pulpit. Because remember that not all thing you see shining is of God. That one point. The next point is somebody might be carrying some spirit inside of them, come onto your pulpit to preach. You don't know them well. You just thought, well, they were a friendly thing you were doing. You invited them, and the day they left your pulpit, all your members start to do different things. Okay, so with the vein of church and all these churches that are strictly very strong on the laws, it's very important. For those of us who understand ministry and those of us on the assignment, we in 100% support of any mission in the world that we guide their vision. It's not about, coordination and fellowshipping together. It's not to come and preach or some at the pulpit alone. No. Okay, if pastors having meetings to sharpen each other, sharpen the iron, meeting conferences where we can talk together, that is a different thing. So why would you be so anxious to go and preach or some at the pulpit? So despite this is very key issue we're going to be discussing. It's coming up, and it's coming up in one of our talk. It's going to be a very hot topic, and please stand in and let's talk about this issue, because people are blind despite their education. I have a master in ministry, but that is not what makes me to be who I am. I have to study, I have to read extensively, I have to do research, and I have to be called divinely into the ministry. Okay, so don't overlook other people because, well, they might not have what you have. And that's what makes the word to be so unique, because everybody can be the same. But then again, let's respect each other, because I tell you the truth, man, my assignment is greater than my rank. My ministry is my life, or my life is my ministry. The same way, so the life is a God's ministry. So he's not going to allow somebody to come and destroy his life. So when somebody comes out and say, okay, if lecture, for instance, my brother Bishop Charles will come out and say, look, listen to me, the Pastor Nancy, I want you to do this for us, right? And say, look, okay, we are in covenant with our brothers, we are in covenant with our pastors, and only these following pastors will be allowed to preach on the pulpit. Why? Because he's trying to protect his flocks. And that's why God put us over those people in order to protect them. When that thing happened to our ministry, and what happened when it comes from my own self, that means I was the person that left this person there who was connected to me. So if I left this person, that means I have to deal with it. I deal with it after that situation, and I know it will no more happen in my life, because I'm not going to sit down for anything to destroy my ministry only because maybe you are married to me, or probably you have the connection with me. No, God forbid. Why? Because my life is my ministry. That means everything I do is my life. That's more important to it. So I want to say to all of us, your assignment, don't take it light. You might look at yourself small today. You are greater in the eyes of God. You are a big person in the eyes of God. Let us not begin to look at the reality that, or the fact that people are not taking or doing the thing that they're supposed to do as compared to what they are doing. Let us do it together and make the world a better place. God is not going to come down to talk to me again. He's not going to tell me anything concerning probably the ministry. He have already given me the understanding. I just need to pray and believe God to give me strength and the grace. So whether I do it the way I feel, whether I think that where God is leading me, or I doing it by way of wisdom, I just want for God to be the one that I always go back to and say, God, teach me. I forgot something, God. Give me the revelation about this thing. If I want to get in a relationship or anything I'm doing, I put God first and keep praying to God, because two things God would do. God would open your eyes to see it. God would confuse the person, and God is going to just make me to understand that this is not my will, or this is my will, or that is not my will, or that is my will. Wherever you want to go, whatever place you are traveling, maybe that is not God's will, or maybe it is God's will. And, so sometimes we need to pray to God and give a little time to rest and hear from Him. Okay, we talk to God and be sometimes to hear from Him. Sometimes we need to be silent. Sometimes we just need to be silent when we pray. Go back and take some time, rest a little bit, and ask God to speak back to you. Because what happens is that when we keep speaking and don't allow to open ourselves, avail ourselves, and find an isolated place where we can say, okay, I want to be with the Lord today, because there's something I don't understand. I want to know about this guy or this church. Okay, so I just want to say again, thank you to all of us, those of us who are following, and those of us who will be follow us this week. I know that the best thing we can do for ourselves is to continue to believe in God, to continue to do whatever God has called us to do. My brother, we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain that we're carrying nothing. So you're welcome. God bless.